Back in my day, they used to have Fast Pass, and it was free.
Hello there.
Is this what it looks like right before you get eaten?
And I'm not at Epcot.
And today we are at Animal Kingdom. Today we're going to be learning all about Animal Kingdom, trying to ride as much as we can, and also go eat at Pandora. So, the first thing I'd like to mention about Animal Kingdom is that it has a lot of elements alluding to what should be or what should have been. In this case, at the front of Animal Kingdom, there are these three main faces. The dinosaur represents the extinct animals, the elephant represents the living, real animals, and the dragon represents the imaginary animals from stories like fairy tales. The dragon also actually represents Beastly Kingdom, which was one of the lands that was originally planned for Animal Kingdom. Due to budgetary concerns, Beastly Kingdom actually never came to be, and Camp Mini Mickey was made instead. Imagineers still had plans to eventually bring Beastly Kingdom into the park, which is why the dragon's here. But because of Pandora, that's no longer the case, since Pandora is taking up the land that Beastly Kingdom would have occupied. So as you could see in this mural, other sort of mythical animals are pictured here. So here you could see a griffin, and you can also see a Pegasus over here. So although Animal Kingdom opened on April 22nd, 1998, the original kind of ideas of having animals in the Walt Disney theme parks started with Disneyland and Jungle Cruise. Originally, Walt Disney wanted Jungle Cruise to have actual real live animals, but the Imagineers and basically the crew that takes care of animals told them that's kind of gonna be really impossible given the amount of space you're working with and how you want them in such close proximity to each other. You also can't expect them to all perform their desired behaviors at specific times when the boats drive by. So that's how the Jungle Cruise came to be with its animatronics. But the dreams of having real-life animals in the parks did come true with Animal Kingdom through Kilimanjaro Safari, which hopefully we'll see later. We were getting kind of hungry, so we wandered over to our favorite place in Animal Kingdom for getting a bite to eat. What's up guys, we're at the Satu'li Canteen and we're about to try our food. It's not the first time we've been here. Spoiler, we already know that we like the food here.
Last time we were here, I had the noodles with the churrasco, like chimichurri beef, and Velasca had the white rice and chicken. I liked her meal, and she liked my meal, so we swapped. So now I'm having the rice and the chicken, and she's having the noodles and the beef.
Yes, so I know I love this food, so yay!
If you look at it, it's not really white rice. It's more like moro, which is like black bean rice. So that's what it tastes like. But the chopped chicken is fantastic. It tastes like Panda Express chicken. So the slaw is a little bit acidic, very acidic, and the popping pearls are very interesting. Like they taste almost like Sprite when you pop it, but then when it goes down your throat, it's spicy. So I'm not a huge fan of that.
I'm having the chimichurri steak with the noodles, and I have poured this creamy ranch dressing on top, and it's a really nice garlicky flavor. The actual steak is seasoned really well, and I also like the taste of the noodles. It tastes kind of like Panda Express, but better. After our Satu'li Canteen lunch, we decided to explore Pandora, admire the sights, and join the standby queue for the Navi River Journey ride. The views as we walked into the queue were nice, but there was not much to see in the hour-and-a-half standby queue. Upon looking at our ride vehicles, we noticed how small they were, and after Googling some numbers, we realized why this ride probably has such a long line. Disney fan forums theorize that this ride has a theoretical hourly ride capacity of 1,200 guests per hour. Meanwhile, Pirates of the Caribbean and the Haunted Mansion can have up to 3,200 guests per hour. Just some interesting numbers which, as I said before, are not officially released, but are instead speculations by fans. we just finished riding Navi River Journey and it was your first time. What did you think?
It was pretty cool. The giant moving animatronic like Navi lady was pretty awesome. I wish there was more animatronics of like the horses or any of the little creatures, like even as stand-ins would have been cool. The screens were nice though. They blended seamlessly into the background.
The screens did do a really good job of making it look like the creatures were actually there, but you could still tell that they're screens. So I wish there were multiple shamans. That's the name of the creature. The lady at the end is called the shaman. So they could have had multiple shamans, or like you said, they could have had some horse guys.
Yeah, stand-in creatures, basically kind of like how with like Jurassic Park, they're just random, you know, dinosaurs all over the place. So, like they may not necessarily be moving, but if they're there, it's like cool, it adds more presence.
Yeah, it adds to the ambiance of the ride because this really only has one singular animatronic. Pandora is truly designed beautifully, and here's a cool Easter egg hidden in its mountains. Although some of these waterfalls contain actual water, I believe this waterfall in the highest location here to be a spinning mechanism or a wheel with texture, not actual water. Now it was time for us to explore Africa and join the queue for Kilimanjaro Safari. As we make our way to the safari, please enjoy the music of self-taught Sudanese and Swedish artist Abel Kurdum.
See, the world is getting better now. Feel the change is coming on my way. Keeping hope as higher as I can. Moving on, embracing destiny. Carry on, despite all my past, into tomorrow's bright and shiny days. Turning back, I'm moving on, no turning back. Up to the moon, there is no turning back.
Jumbo, everyone, and welcome to Kilimanjaro Safaris. In order to keep your wait time to a minimum,
At all times, remain seated with your hands, arms, feet, and legs inside the truck. That sure does include our kids. We'll start off our safari today in the Little Ituri Forest. The animals out here tend to rely on camouflage to hide themselves from predators, so sometimes it can be a bit hard to spot. We'll just keep our eyes out so you can find nearby. It looks like we're in some luck. On your right-hand side, you can see an okapi, dark brown animal, black and white stripes on their legs and hindquarters. And despite those black and white stripes, the okapi are not close related to the zebra. They're in fact the closest living relative of the giraffe. Okapi have a long purplish-black prehensile tongue, just like the giraffe, which grows around 13 to 14 inches long. And that's actually long enough that if they wanted to, the okapi can lick their own eyeballs.
Wow.
And on that side, black rhinos do also have a prehensile, triangular-shaped upper lip. Prehensile meaning finger-like, or that it can grab. So they use that upper lip to grab leaves off of bushes and trees to eat. Now, they are unfortunately an endangered species, less than 5,000 left in the wild. They have no natural predators, so most of that is due in part to poaching of their horns. Some cultures might believe rhino horns to have mystical, magical, medicinal properties, but scientifically they have not found any. They are really made of the same material our hair and fingernails called keratin. On your left, there's a couple of bongos at the top of the hill. Orangish brown antelope, white markings, tan horns. There's also a greater kudu kind of close by here. It's this light brown, kind of sandy brown one. White markings, no horns. Both male and female bongos are the horns that they do, whereas with the greater kudu, only males grow horns. The ones that we saw there, we know were all females. Seems like about all we're going to find in the forest, though. So let's make our way towards the Navi River. See what's out in this direction. The river is a good place to find some aquatic animals, so we're going to keep a lookout for any dark shadows in the water, maybe some bubbles popping up here and there. Both of those are great signs that we could find some wildlife. We're already in luck. There's a few pink-backed pelicans on the shores. They're the larger white, almost light gray birds, long yellow bills, orangish pink feet. Pink-backed pelicans get their name from their mating season, when Escadabax is going to blush with a bright pink color. They're very colonial birds. They nest in pairs, anywhere between 20 to over 500 pairs in a single group, totaling well over 1,000 birds altogether. Now, I know I mentioned looking for shadows out here in the water. Rivers like this one are usually a good place to find some Nile hippopotamus, but they do spend most of the day inside the water, about 16 to 18 hours worth, and can even hold their breath for up to 8 minutes fully submerged before needing to come up for another one. So just because we haven't seen any quite yet doesn't mean that they're not there. They're probably just under the surface, a little hard for us to see right now. We'll start heading out towards the savannah. It's the largest section of the reserve. There's a lot less tree coverage. Instead of relying on camouflage, animals on the savannah tend to rely on their safety in numbers and their speed to outmaneuver predators. Coming up on your right, one of the most important types of tree on the savannah, it's called a baobab tree. It's this really big one without any leaves. Now, they are completely leafless for about 9 months out of the year, and during that time they'll store extra water inside their trunk. That way when they do have leaves, in case there's not any fresh water around, they can still grow, because they'll only grow about 1 to 2 inches in total every year. But that does kind of make it look like their roots are above the ground, which is going to give them the nickname of the upside down tree. During the dry season, animals with tusks and horns might also come up and puncture holes in the bark of that tree to get to the water on the inside. Kind of like sticking a straw inside of a giant wooden juice box. That gives those trees the second nickname of the Tree of Life. Baobab trees are a fruit-bearing tree as well. They'll produce a citrus fruit that's similar to a lemon or an orange, and local cultures make that into a drink that's kind of similar to lemonade. Speaking of life, it looks like we're going to get some luck out here in the savannah today. We're going to see a couple animals out in the distance, lots of signs of activity nearby too. If you look at all the grass out here, you'll see how short it is and close to the ground. Lots of animals here in the savannah are what we call ruminants. Well, that means that they spend a lot of their time grazing. They have multi-chambered stomachs. They can process as much vegetation as they get their mouths on. Things like your average dairy cows, they're also considered a ruminant.
All the giraffes are back there.
Now, first things first, out here we are going to find an animal den up ahead on our left. It's usually a good place to find some predators, most of which in Africa are nocturnal, so they might still be taking a nap. We'll just keep a lookout and see if anybody's home. A little bit of luck. These are African painted dogs on your left. They're orange dogs, black markings, white tips of their tails. And the painted dogs might look pretty cute and cuddly, but they're actually some of the most successful pack hunters in all of Africa. About 4 out of 5 times. These guys are successful in chasing after their prey. If there's anything they're not, though, it's that they're actually not really to hyenas. They're also not even really related to dogs. The African painted dogs are part of the canid family, C-A-N-I-D. So they'd be more close to the average fox than they would be to any type of dog or even any type of hyena. On your left-hand side, a few more animals. Dark brown antelope in the back with long gray horns are sable antelope. The light gray animals, the fill black stripes, are wildebeest. And of course, the black and white stripes back there are Hartman's mountain zebras. Hartman's mountain zebras are one of 3 different species. They all have different types of stripes. The best way to pick out this kind is because they have a dewlap. It's a flap of skin on their neck, essentially a pocket full of blood vessels, which will help them regulate their temperature during hot days. Another wildebeest coming up here to the right too. The wildebeest do have scent glands built up by their hooves. They can use those, will deposit and pick their scent right back up. It's kind of like retracing your own steps, quite literally. Helps them figure out where they were and where they want to go. And the Maasai giraffe, they are one of 4 different species of giraffe. They have the darkest brown spots of all 4. And their spots are much more jagged and sharp in their corners. They kind of remind me of pointy puzzle pieces.
Oh, yeah.
The giraffe do spend most of the day eating, just like this guy here to your left, about 16 to 18 hours a day, just munching at leaves. You only need to sleep for about 30 minutes every single day too, and they'll usually break that up into a couple of minute-long naps here and there, rather than sleeping a full 30 minutes in one go. But more often than not, the giraffe also sleeps standing up. If you're as tall as a giraffe is, it can take a lot of time, a lot of effort to lay down and stand back up. They really don't do it a whole lot. Most reserves like this one or zoos, they feel completely comfortable. There's not a lot of predators. Kind of hard to spot between the bushes right now, but when we get up ahead, we should have a better look. The Ankoli cattle are some of the only domesticated species on the reserve, also nicknamed the Watusi cattle after the tribe that first domesticated them.
I know, right?
Both males and females grow those enormous horns in their heads, but despite their large size, they're very lightweight because those horns are mostly hollow. They're made of a honeycomb-like structure with a bunch of air pockets and blood vessels reaching to the top of their horns. They kind of work the same way a radiator works for a car to cool off during hot days. Up ahead of us here, I do see a white rhinoceros taking a nap. We'll go to the left. See, there's more coming this way too. White rhinoceros are not really different in color than any other type of rhino. Their name really comes from a mistranslation of the Afrikaans word "vite." The word "vite" means wide, and it's in reference to their mouths. Much wider, more tangular shaped, helps them to graze at grass rather than leaves off of bushes and tree branches.
It's so pretty.
The rhinos are considered a crepuscular animal. It's a very fancy, sciencey sounding word that means like take a lot of naps. They're most active during dawn and dusk. Neither nocturnal nor diurnal, they are crepuscular. On your left-hand side, I do see a cheetah out here on this ridge. Light yellow streak there laying down back in the grass. Black dots might see the white tip of their tails look around a little bit. Cheetahs are the fastest land animals in the world, able to go 0 to 60 miles per hour in about 3 seconds. But they can only keep that speed up for about 5 seconds when they have to slow down. They're more sprinters than they are marathoners. Cheetahs' claws are non-retractable, which will help them to keep grip while they run. And they use their tails like a rudder to help themselves turn while they're running. They need those adaptations because for some of Africa's only diurnal hunters, they hunt during the day rather than at night, so it helps them be a little more successful. You can see a few ostrich out there to your right. We'll get a close look at them in a little bit, so don't worry if you can't get good pictures yet. Now I do see a lion like T&F out there.
He's beautiful.
We know this one's a male lion because he has a mane. Only males grow manes. Lionesses do not. During the daytime, their eyesight is just as good as ours is too. So if he was awake right now, he could see us as well as we can see him. But at nighttime, their eyesight is about 6 times better than humans.
He's a sleepy guy.
He's like, I'm
A couple of burrows around the corner here on your left. Usually a good place to see some animals that might like to dig. Seems like you might be hiding inside those burrows, though. I don't see too much moving around out here. Those burrows do look big enough to fit a warthog, though. They are the world's largest burrowing mammals. Taking with a razor sharp tusk, they have 2 on the top mouths and 2 on the bottom. We'll get a pretty close to ostrich in the meantime, though. They're kind of on your right-hand side here. Ostrich are the world's largest bird and also the world's fastest bipedal land animal. Bipedal meaning on 2 legs. They can actually run at speeds around 40 miles per hour. But ostrich are also a flightless bird. They do not use their wings to flap around and fly. They really use them to help themselves turn while they run.
They run like this. Like the goofy attack type, the Titan.
Yeah.
You can see a few ostrich eggs in the ground here to your right. And their eggs are incredibly durable. The average human being can stand on top of one without it cracking. We'll stand around 400 pounds of pressure per square inch. But the ostrich are very smart birds, despite their brains being a bit smaller than their eyeballs. They're not going to attempt to incubate those eggs unless they know that they've been fertilized, so we can tell they're only female ostrich here on the reserve. Now we'll head into the last section of the reserve here called the Magadi Glen. Warden Wilson Matua set up his outpost in the glen. He likes on the outskirts of the reserve, but he's also adopted some Nigerian dwarf to take care of. You see that here on the left-hand side. Warden Wilson adopted these goats for a few reasons. They're pretty cute, like to run around and play around a lot of the day, but their milk is also incredibly nutritious. More nutritious than cow's milk, and they're easier to take care of too, since the goats require a bit less space and will eat almost any vegetation. Probably not the best house pets in the world, though. Goats still do need a lot of outdoor space. They're tremendous climbers, great sense of balance, and they're pretty hard to potty train, but it kind of works out well for us. Having domesticated animals on the reserve helps us rely a little less on wildlife to get profit, meaning we can sell goat's milk and goat's cheese to the local village. Speaking of the village, though, we're going to start heading off the reserve back towards it. We still have some time, and you're a bit of a captive audience. Let's talk a little more about conservation. It's incredibly important to all the animals you saw in the reserve today, especially ones that are endangered, which unfortunately is a lot more than you think, and a lot of them for similar reasons. One of the biggest being the loss of habitat through deforestation. It affects animals like giraffes, so copies, and bongos. But if we can reduce or cut back on a few products that we use, reuse them at various times, and recycle them afterwards will help to save the animals' homes. The same also goes for electronic devices. Lots of them, especially ones that can recharge, contain a mineral called coltan. Coltan is found in mining the same places animals like elephants, rhinos, and lions make their homes. So next time you're looking to upgrade your devices like your cell phone, consider taking your old one to your local electronics store. They should have a place you can recycle that phone. Since coltan never goes bad, they can take the coltan out of your old device, make a new one with it, and not have to mine for some more, which will save the animals' homes as well.
We just finished riding Kilimanjaro Safaris. What did you think?
The hippos are so cute.
Yeah, they were my favorite. I think were the wildebeest. They were so big and impressive. That was awesome.
I thought yours would have been the rhino because you were saying it's so cute like a million
the
times.
rhino was beautiful.
After the safari, we continued on our adventure by going on an expedition to Gorilla Falls Exploration Trail. In the aviary, we saw several brightly colored birds. Afterwards, we encountered this hippo which took a breath of air and went right back to sleep underwater. We saw Timon the meerkat, and finally, the gorillas. We saw the gorillas foraging for food, and we also saw the infant gorilla walking backwards, tumbling into some grasses and throwing himself into some hay.
So here is the Southern Giant Anteater exhibit, and it's super nice, such a nice big exhibit for him. And we were trying to find him, and we actually just found him down here. He's so pretty, wow. Oh my gosh. He's so impressive.
He has a goofy body.
He's a big snoot. Oh my god, he's so beautiful.
Yes, he looks fake.
He does. He's so pretty. So Disney does a good job, even at Animal Kingdom, to make sure that everything still looks pretty natural. So this is the Anteater exhibit. And right above here, you could see that they're actually hiding a speaker for the background ambient music.
After admiring the details and ambiance of Africa for a little while longer, we stumbled upon some construction.
So it looks like we have some construction right here in the Africa area of Animal Kingdom. So I look forward to seeing what ends up being there. That's gonna be cool.
And now for our final stop of the day, Dinoland, USA.
Would you call me crazy if I said that Dinoland USA is my favorite land in Animal Kingdom?
Would I believe you? Yeah, yes.
But
Well, no, because your favorite is the safari. Because of the hippos and the rhinos and the really cute giraffes.
yes, but I think Dinosaur just holds a special place in my heart. I was terrified as a little kid of Dinoland and the dinosaur ride, but I always used to love climbing on the Boneyard playground. But now that I've grown a little bit, not in height, but in age, I am no longer scared of Dinosaur.
My brother used to hide when there was dinosaurs and stuff. He would be like, "Ah!" and that was always funny.
But my favorite ambiance in Animal Kingdom for a restaurant is this Dinoland USA restaurant that's right behind me. And my family and I always used to love eating in this little bus portion right there. So although the food there is pretty standard right now, you used to have a McDonald's in there. So that was my favorite place to go when I was little.
Did you know that we got teleported to the prehistoric era? There'll be no Wi-Fi because there's no cell towers in the prehistoric era.
Wow, that's a
That's a blast in the past.
it's a blast in the past.
Oui.
I'm so sad they're gonna take it away.
They're taking away Dinosaur?
They're gonna take away Dinosaur and they're gonna replace it. They're replacing it with...
More dinosaurs?
No, they're gonna do... I think they said Moana? And Zootopia was originally in the plans for replacing Dino Land. But right now, I think they're saying Moana.
I said they're replacing the bugs thingy.
Oh.
With Zootopia.
Yeah, so originally they were gonna replace this land with Moana and Zootopia. Thank you. So cute. Thank you. I love it here. I'm so sad they're removing this place. Have a great day. So Disney, if you're listening, a lot of people really love Dinosaur. And if you want to, right, the last Indiana Jones has a time travel mechanic. So technically, he could go back into the past, visit the dinosaurs. So you could refurbish the ride by bringing Indiana Jones in it, bring in a ton of new people, but you could still keep all the dinosaurs, which so many people are a fan of.
Even being in the dinosaur ride queue is a fun and educational experience. It looks like a prehistoric themed museum, in which different fossils and dioramas are on exhibit. There's also a huge Carnotaurus fossil on display.
Like there's an ash-colored layer of all that dust and stuff.
Yeah.
Above that, there's no fossil records. Below that is all the fossil records.
Interesting. I found a fossil. I'm gonna call it Velocicat. Like and subscribe if you're enjoying this video.
Wait, can we go to Flight of Passage early? Like, can we go?
Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Also possess strangely stunted forearms and a bulldog-like face. He has tiny arms. Carnotaurus is known from this single fossil, which includes the most complete fossil skin impressions ever found for a meat-eating dino. The baked chicken.
Hello. I'm Dr. Marsh, director of the Dino Institute, and I hope you enjoyed those quaint exhibits in the old wing. That's how dinosaurs have been presented to the public since the study of fossils began over 150 years ago. Today, that bare bones approach is about to become extinct. In a perfect blending of science and technology, the Dino Institute has created the Time Rover, an amazing vehicle that will literally transport you to the age of the dinosaurs. How? That's proprietary. But the result is a breathtaking journey through a prehistoric world where you'll witness the most spectacular creatures to ever walk the earth. In a moment, you'll be going live to our control center for a comprehensive safety briefing, and then it's on to the tour that will convince you forever that the future is truly in the past.
Hello there. Welcome to our little trans-dimensional joyride, folks. I'm Dr. Secret, your friendly controller, and a heck of a paleontologist, if I do say so myself. But let's not talk about me. Let's talk about you, and how you can help me make history today with the Time Rover. It's like this. If I can bring you back from the Cretaceous period, it stands to reason that I can bring back a live dinosaur with you. And not just any dinosaur. Take a look at this guy. He's an iguanodon, and I'm certain that he is the key to understanding these magnificent creatures. I tagged him with a locator during an unauthorized field trip. Otherwise, I'd be traveling with you. Right now, our dino should be about here, at the very end of the Cretaceous period. That's where you're going today.
I've arrived, it seems, just in time to correct a little misstatement.
Dr. Marsh.
That is impossibly close to the giant asteroid impact that destroyed most life forms on Earth. Our tools are designed to take you to the early Cretaceous period, and I can assure you that all time rovers have been securely locked on those coordinates.
That's right. See? Securely locked. Access denied.
Continue.
Of course. We were just talking about seatbelts. Plug them in, use them. It can get kind of choppy out there, so keep your hands and arms inside the vehicle at all times. Flash photography? I wouldn't. It alters the homing signal, and that's not good. Oh, and one more thing. Those locked coordinates? We're in. Now, here's the drill. You follow the homing signal to the iguanodon, then I'll enlarge the transport field, and boom, you're back with one additional passenger extra large. And don't worry about that asteroid. You'll be in and out of there before it even breaks the atmosphere.
And if you've been on this ride before, you know what he says. Trust me, what could go wrong? Well, for starters, your phone could die, bringing us to now. If you enjoyed this video, I have many others like it, and I plan on making more. I sprinkle in engineering and behind-the-scenes facts about theme park design throughout most of my videos. And I have a huge video coming out soon on Epcot and what Imagineers considered when making this fantastic theme park. If any of that interests you, please consider subscribing to my channel. Have a great, big, beautiful tomorrow and a magical day today. See you real soon!